screen and you can hear my voice. In case of any issue with my voice or if you cannot see my screen, I just type it in the chat window. Just log in as admin in the MySQL. See, I repeat it. I just went to the start button here, right? So MySQL, you can double click here itself. Okay, when you double click, it will take you to this one. This is called your MySQL command line. Okay, command line client. Here it will ask you the password. I logged in as a root user. Okay, but in general you will not have the root user access. They will give you this admin user access. Okay, so password can be anything. Okay, but when as soon as we logged in here, it was asking for the password. Okay, it was not asking for the username. The default username was root. Okay, admin, but in the real time scenario they will create a user ID for you. For the developers, you need to log in with that username and password. Okay, any of it is, you don't have to worry about that one at this moment. Okay, and now we are in the MySQL prompt, right? So type show databases. So usually you will find, as soon as you create the or as soon as you install the MySQL server, you will find only 4 databases when you type show databases: sys, performance schema, information schema, and MySQL. Okay, except see all these things. Okay, all these things except retail I created the database. 1 2 1 2 3 4 database. Okay, forget about retail is not the system database. Except retail, rest of them are system databases or schemas. Okay, so those schemas by default created as part of the installation process. Okay, now we have fired this query show databases. It showed all the databases. Here I created many databases. Okay, and here I'm going to log into, I'll be, one second, I'll be entering into your demo database. Showed in this demo database, I wanted to see what all the tables are there. Okay, these are the 2 tables are there, right? So these are the 2 tables are there. Fine. One second, I don't know why. Fine, these are the 2 tables are there inside my demo database. See, I can create n number of databases, but each database is like a container. Okay, it's a container. In the lorry they carry the container, right? In the port you will find, if you go to any port, right, where the ship is landing there, or where the ship is landing there, right, you will find the container inside, or in the ship they keep the containers, right? Inside the container you will keep all the items, everything. Likewise, database is a container. Inside the container we create the tables, and inside the tables we store the data. So why should I do all these things? Because of security. You can keep it in your operating system, in your Windows itself, Windows folder itself, you can do it. But in real time scenario, your data will be accessed by many people across the globe, right? For example, take for example Amazon or Walmart, right? So they have e-commerce website, and customers, they order the items anywhere from the globe, right? They, whatever the items or whatever they order it, that will get stored in a centralized database or distributed database. In that case, what will happen is, if you store the data in a Windows system or Linux operating system, security is not there. And also, when you store the data in RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. You can fire a query in order to retrieve the data from more than one table in a more and especially you can perform joins. Okay, joins, different types of joins, inner join, all these things we will see it later. Okay, but here the data are stored in the rows and columns format. And importantly, when you store the data in database, right, you can do slicing and dicing, especially when you create a snowflake schema or star schema. That we will see it later, what exactly Snowflake and star schema. If you say, that's what one of the participants, he asked, do I have to learn SQL? Can't I learn Power BI directly? You can learn Power BI directly. You can you can do aggregation, you can do group by everything, you can do it with Power BI. But some cases what we do is, instead of doing the aggregation everything out there, what we do is, in the table itself we do the aggregation, and we'll store the aggregated value in the table itself. For example, we sell items in 10 different regions. I'll just show you here. Let's say we sell, let's say I own a e-commerce website and we sell products in 10 different regions or 10 different locations in India. Okay, in India. So here in this case, what happens is, right, if I wanted to know region wise, I wanted to know the sales by region. Okay, so I need to know the sales by region, by category, and we sell how many category, or we sell, let's say we sell 10 products in 10 different locations, and these 10 products also we sell it under 3 category. Okay, 3 category, we have 3 category, under 3 category, right, in total 10 products we sell it across 10 different regions. You want to know region, right? So let's toiletries, and how, and region, in the region wise, in this case, let's Hyderabad and toiletries. In Hyderabad toiletries, how much we sold, right? What is the sale amount? 10k, and here candies. In candies, how much we sold? 20k, right? If I want to know this one, I need to join the data from 3 or 4 different tables. Okay, to generate this report, I need to join 3, because I need to have a location table separately and products table separately and category table separately, and end of the day I need to join these 3 tables in order to not only order products, category and locations, and also I will be having order table, right? In the order table only we stored all the transactions, right? So in Hyderabad, similarly in Chennai and other cities, okay, Chennai, Bangalore, right, toiletries, how much. This is what management want to see the report. In order to get this one, we store the data in 4 different tables. Why we need to store the data in 4 different tables? To eliminate or to avoid redundancies. This is one way of saving the storage space. Okay. Anyhow, we'll discuss about the data modeling. As part of data modeling, we discuss why we need so many tables. Okay, that is important topic. Okay. Today, so we already know how to create a database. Using MySQL Workbench also we can create the database, and we can create tables, we can insert. Whatever I mentioned it here, we can do it with MySQL Workbench. But what we do is, we will learn how to do it, right, by typing it. When you type more, right, you will, you will get used to more things. So now what we will do is, see, we created the database called demo. The other day I created a database called demo. Inside the demo database I create 2 different tables. How I created? Like this. Now I wanted to see what columns are there in each table. How can I see that? Describe. You have something to describe, depart, semicolon, enter. Instead of typing describe fully, I am going to type just desk. This is also same as describe. You don't have to type the entire keyword. Instead, we can use a shortcut. Okay, you can use this keyword DS is short form of this one. Okay, EMP. It shows column name and the data type, and whether it is a null or it is not a null. Right here, I mentioned no. That means it is not a null. That means employee number should be there. Otherwise, this table will not allow you to insert the data into this table. Okay. And then key. Is this a primary key or unique key? What key is that? Look here. Here I mentioned about key, primary key. See, the other day we discussed about this one. We created the table M, yeah, primary key and all, we created it, right? Yeah, I created the primary key, that's why it shows primary key. So now what we will do is, we will, now you understood how to view the content, right, or the structure of the table. This is called your structure, right? The structure of it, what columns are there, what data types, and what is the size of each column, right? So these are 25 characters are there. You can store 25 letters in this one. Here you store 25 letters, and then whether these columns can be left blank, yes, but this column should not be left blank. That's what we defined it. By default it is null, but anyhow, since it is a primary key, it will not allow you null here. Okay, so fine. So now you understood how to view the structure of the table. Now, if you wanted to see the content of the rest, select star from EMP. That's it, very simple. What values are stored in this table, employee table, right? So this select star from EMP, it shows all the values stored in the table column wise. But employee number, this value is there, e-name, this is there, job is, and salary, this is the value is there. Select star from. Similarly, if I want to view the content from my department table, right? Okay. See, in real time scenario, you have to create the table script and you have to create the insert script also. But though we have DBS, database administrator, they create, see, they create the table, but they expect the developer to create the table. On top, they will add additional parameters like, how much storage it should use on the disk, everything. Okay. But we have to create the, we have to share them with the table script, everything. Okay. Fine. And also, for example, you are a developer in the development environment. You are supposed to create the development. You are supposed to create the table. You are supposed to insert the test data, everything, and then develop your application, test it against this data. And sometime later, when you share it, you share your application with the customer. They say, "Hey, why don't you add additional column? I need, I need to include one more column here. So here I need to include hire date also, right? I need to include hire date also. How can you add it and insert the data in that column also, and then can you share the report? In that case, obviously you should be knowing the SQL commands, right? That is the reason why I started with SQL commands. And the difference between MySQL Server, Oracle, and MySQL is not much. Only the syntax is differing. So here we give semicolon. Whereas in MySQL, we type describe table name, enter, and we type go. Go means that is equivalent to semicolon. Okay, that is the statement terminator. Let's go step by step, right? In MySQL, but if you learn one RDBMS or SQL, one table, one database, right? That is one database in the sense MySQL or SQL Server, that is more than sufficient to learn other RDBMS related databases like Oracle and other databases. Okay. Now what we do is we will try to insert some more records into department table. Insert. All of you can try side by side with me. Insert into is a reserved word. Okay. So always use the caps letter. Okay. It is not a case sensitive one. Depart and values. But whatever the values you store it, that is a case sensitive. Okay. Whatever you store, that way only it will store. It will show everything. The next one is quote, because it's a character data type. Department name. Finance, payroll, and production department. Here something called production department, and location is let's Chennai. Insert it, and that's it. Now select star from department to check whether the data got stored here successfully or not. We will go and check it here. Fine. Yeah, good. So similarly, you can insert the values in employee table also. Now what I am going to do is I am going to add additional column. Okay. Alter table emp add column hire date, and it is a date column. Okay. semicolon, enter. Fine. Now I want to check whether this new column hire date got included in my employee table, desk EMP. This is the one shows you the structure of the table, what columns and the corresponding data type, everything it will show you. Fine, this is how you need to insert it. And now the question is, okay, do I have to, for example, I am going to insert the value, insert into EMP values. If I give like this, I will have to enter the value for all the columns. Okay. For example, earlier I entered the employee number as what is the 101, right? So now I am going to give 103, and I say no Puneet, and here I am going to say no Puneet is a lead developer, and that is what is job, and the salary is, let's something like this. Okay. Comma, and say I'm going to make a mistake, unnecessarily here. Okay, intentionally I'm making a mistake here. 2021, and here higher date is 2017, and March 1. See, this is the format for the date data type. Okay, and data for column job. Job I mentioned only 9, right? So here, okay, or I say senior developer or something like that. Okay, I say SOR dev. So you can modify the width of the data type also. Let's look here. Salary, I have an issue. 100,000, it is not accepting it. Why? What is my salary? 7,2. That means 1 second. Here, how many digits are there? 3, 4, 5, 6. The same problem we posed it in the last session, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. What it says is 7,2. That means the entire width should be 7. Within that 7, 5 digits are supposed to be integer, and 2 digits are reserved for decimal. Okay. So here what I have to do is I have to remove this one. Okay. Now it works. Data got inserted. So now I press up arrow, always use up arrow, and here select star from EMP. Look here. So higher date also got stored here. Pune. So you must be asking this one, in the date data type, right? Date column. Why should I specify this format? Only when you specify year, month, date. This is a year. Y hyphen mm hyphen dd. Okay, this is the format is accepted in MySQL. Okay, you cannot give date, month, year, right? So you can still give, but you have to do some kind of roundabout way of doing it. Okay, but usually this is how we are supposed to give it. Okay, now we inserted the values here. Now the question is, okay, I need to insert only the employee name, employee number, and salary. Higher date also will update it later. Is there any way I can insert only the part of the data in my table? How can I do that? Insert into employee. Right here, what I'm going to here I'm going to say emp number, comma, ename, comma, job. Values, only these 3 columns I now want to insert it. Okay, specific column. Here I am going to say, for example, I am going to say Shreyas. I'll give you 13 here. Okay, it will throw an error. Okay, column count does not match value count, right? So here, because month is not more than it cannot be more than 12, right? Under column count does not match. Yeah. See here, employee number, e-name, job. That's all. The rest of the thing I'm not supposed to mention it here. So what error I'm getting it now? Column count does not match value count. That means here I mentioned only 3 columns. I wanted to insert the values only into these 3 columns. Okay, so in that case the values clause supposed to have only 3 values for these, for these corresponding columns. If I mention more than 3 values, it will throw an error like this. Now you understood, right? If you wanted to insert the the data into the entire table, you can use insert into emp values. Okay, you can specify all the column values inside the parenthesis. Okay, but if you wanted to insert the values only into specific columns, employee number, e-name, job, I will insert the salary and hire date later. In that case, you need to specify explicitly after emp the column names. Look here, emp number, e-name, job, and then values. Only these 3 specific columns I wanted to insert it. Fine. If you press up arrow and select star from emp, look here. So the sal and hire date column became null. Null means nothing, blank. Okay, nothing has been inserted here. You can insert it later also. Okay, I will show you how to insert. So in that case, you are supposed to use update statement. Right? You are supposed to use update statement. Also, in that you should know how to insert the data, how to delete the data, and we learned how to select the entire data from a column, and also how to select a specific column. For example, emp number and e-name from emp. So this is select star will select all the value. So here what happened here? Here I did not specify the column name correctly. Unknown column. If you make a typing mistake, right? Most of the beginners, they tend to make the spelling mistake or typing mistake. Make sure that whatever the column name that you type it, that is already present in the table. Select emp number, comma, e-name. I want to select only the specific column. How do I do that? You need to specify the column. What is select? Select is the reserved word. So you are telling the SQL engine which columns, you need to list out the columns, which all the columns that you are interested in viewing the data. That columns, names you need to list out here. Okay, select is the reserved word, from is also reserved word. Okay, the table name, you can give whatever the table you created. And if you wanted to see the entire data from table, select star from emp, like I mentioned here. The next one is here only specific columns I selected it. If I want to select only the specific rows of the data, how do I do that? Select star from emp where condition, where what we do is, where salary, right? Where salary is equivalent to 10,000. Look here, this is a filtering condition. This is called filtering the data using some condition. What is the condition here? Salary equal to 10,000. Fine. Okay. And also I am going to, now you understood how to insert the data into a table and how to insert the values into specific columns, how to select entire data from a table, how to select only the specific columns, and how to select specific rows, right? 101, 103, something like that. Okay. And based on the filtering condition. See here we subsetted the data. What do you mean by subset? Here, though I have 3 records, I wanted to take the subset of this one, right? Subset of this one. So how do I, using some condition, I subsetted it. Okay. And if I want to add a new column, you understood how to add a new column, right? Alter table name, add column name. That's how we added the hire date. Once again, you don't have to scroll up. Look here, if you press up arrow, you will get the previous commands here. Alter table, emp, alter table name, add column hire date. If you don't want this column, if you want to drop the column, you need to use drop column hire date. Okay, that is how. So now you understood how to insert the value in the entire table. How to insert the values in all the columns in your table, or how to insert the table in a specific column, how to add a column to your existing table, and how to store the date value. Okay, date value. Fine. Any questions so far? It's very simple one. It might appear very simple one, but these are the these commands are very much helpful, especially when you do testing. See, not only generating the report or dashboards are your responsibility. Before you generate the dashboard or all the things, right, you need to insert the data into table, you need to store the data in table. So what customers they do is, right, they will give you access to the database. You need to take those data and you need to insert it in this table. Okay, they will not give access to the production database. Okay, because the production database, if they give access, if you mess up something, the production database will will come to halt because of if you mess up anything, right, in your query, it will hang. Let us assume that you go and order some products, or you want to buy some products in Amazon, right? When you order the item, when you click add to cart, and when you check out, during the process of checkout, if the server crashes, what will happen? You will lose patience. You will not order it with Amazon. You will lose patience because you are in a hurry to order it, because you need to go to office also. For example, a female is working, right? Working nowadays, ladies also working. What will happen is she wants to order a diaper. She doesn't have time to go and buy it from a shop, right? She is ordering it. If the website is down, obviously she will go to some other website. It leads to frustration. She will go and buy it from some other website, right? So in that case, availability is very much important. Okay. In that case, if you are a report developer. In that case, if you access the Amazon database to generate reports, mistakenly if you write your query in a wrong way, that will screw up your production database. That query will take too much of memory and CPU. In that case, what will happen is, right, though the Amazon server is up and running, or database also running, she cannot order the item on time. It will take longer time. That is the reason why they don't give access to the production database. Instead, they will tell, hey, this is the database, you take all the data and store it in a staging area. In data warehouse, we have something called staging area. Staging area, we temporarily store all the tables or data sets that are required for our analysis. Okay, now you understood how to. So next, what I am going to do is, I am going to use the select command. Very easy to learn the SQL queries, but especially when you join with multiple tables, it is a painful thing. For example, I am going to see here, it is a pretty straight filtering condition. I filtered the rows that are specific to 1000 only, 10,000, right? Yeah. Sorry, already marked it. I need to copy it. Just go here and edit, copy, and then right click it. When you right click it, it automatically you will get it here. Salary is 1000, and we have an operator called AND operator. AND operator, and job. So you want to include one more condition also. Look here. So not only the salary should be 10,000, and also we wanted to find out the manager salary. So those managers' salary is 10,000. We wanted to see their name. Okay. So in this case, we have only one record, which is Karthik. Karthik is a manager, and his salary is 10,000. So now you understood how to write multiple conditions using AND operator. You can do it. Okay. And also, if you wanted to say, select count, we have something called count of star. Yeah, before I go count of star, what we will do is we will use something like we have many operators are available. For example, select star from EMP, where the ename, like you have something like operator, like car, something like that. Okay, car percentage. It's kind of a wildcard search. It's called wildcard search. In the operating system, we will do sometimes we use this one, right? For example, I don't know how many of you use this one in Windows or Linux. Directly, so in my directory I have all the files, right? I want to display only untitled, all the files that are untitled, star dot star. If I give it only, it display only the untitled, right? It selects only untitled. So what command that I used it? Untyped. I don't have to type the entire name, right? Untyped star dot. This is called wildcard. So start with untyped. Whatever the files, right? Display all the files that start with untyped and end with anything. Okay, it can be IPYNB, it can be anything else. Okay. So similar to this one, right? To use the wildcard in SQL, we use like using like, you can say percentage. Here we say instead of star, right? We use percentage. If you use star here, right, it will not work here. You need to use percentage here. Percentage is nothing but the wildcard, using which you can select all the employee name whose name starts with KAR. So now you understood the new operator called like, right? Like and all the things. Okay. Anyhow, I'll share the video. You watch this video and practice it without fail. Okay. And sometimes, right, let's say I'll be inserting something like insert into so here I'm going to do one thing. So 104 and 105, and here I'm going to say Karthik Raja 3, yeah, insert, select star from M. So I have two Karthik here, but again I can specify the, assume that even this Karthik Raja's salary is also same as Karthik and he is also manager. Okay, and you wanted to select, for example, I want to select percentage, we can write, say like Raja. Look here, start with so display all the employees whose name starts with KAR and end with Raja. Look here, right? Though this gentleman name is also start with KAR, but it doesn't end with Raja. Okay, now you understood, right? Fine. So next one is, we will see something like the distinct. We have some distinct command. It will display the distinct unique values. Select or I will use this one. Okay, select distinct, and let's I say, okay, here, yeah, here job is the column name from EMP. But if you look at the job column, job from EMP, you have two developer, right? Unique values, display only the unique values from the job column. But when you query job from EMP table, 4 different jobs are there, but these two are same only, developer same, right? If somebody is asking you, can you tell me how many number of job types are there in your company, you will say manager, senior developer, that's all. You will not say manager, senior developer, right? So can you tell me the job types in your company? You will say this one, right? Unique job types. So how do I take the unique value from this job table? Distinct. Select distinct, this column name from M. I guess all of you are concentrating here. And yeah, this AND operator, and we have something else called OR operator is also there, right? And also you can specify the comments also, how to specify the comments. For example, you want to select, you specify the comments, You can specify the comments also. Select star, the next line, right, this one, and that is a comment. Okay, and for example, retrieve all the records from YAMP. Okay, and the next line I need to put star this one. Okay, from EMP. Okay, so you can specify comments also. Why we have to specify? You need to specify the comment. You know, so this is my comment, right? I put this comment within this one. This is my backward slash star, backward slash and star. Afterwards, you need to put the comment, and you need to end the comment, right? Where the comment starts, where the comment ends. You need to tell the SQL engine. Otherwise, how will the SQL engine will start? So in that case, backward slash star, and then type the comment in the next line. The next line, and star and backward slash. Sorry, this is a forward slash, right? Forward slash star. The backward slash is this one, right? This is the backward slash. This is the forward slash. So forward slash star. In C language, I don't know how many of you worked in C language. In C language, we use this way only, right? Yeah. Yes, Puneet. Okay. So forward slash star, retrieve all the records from M, and star forward slash from M. This is how you can specify multi-line comments. Comments are very much important to understand the logic of the query. Why you are using? In this case, it is pretty straightforward. You don't have to specify comment here. Okay, just because I taught you, hey, this is how you need to use the multi-line comment. So why should I use comment? Comment, we use it to understand the logic that we used in the query. Okay, but here it's select star from YAMP is, you know, is to display the entire record from the table. In this case, you don't have to specify the comment. Supposing you are using, you know, a little bit or, you know, bit complex queries, you need to specify the comments. Comments are very much important because using comments, the layman can also understand, right, what logic you implemented. For example, you know SQL query, but a business user in your company, MBA guy, right, he doesn't know SQL query. How will he know what logic you used it here? So you put it in, you know, plain English, so that he will be able to understand. Oh yes, you know, he selected all the employees whose names start with KR and end with Raja. Okay, that is what this query is doing it. Oh, okay, that's how you'll be able to understand. And then we have something called count of star. Okay, select. Somebody is asking you how many number of records are in a table. How will you tell? Select star from YAMP. So 4 records are there. So in this case, we have, just by eyeballing this, we can tell, hey, only 4 records are there. In real time scenario, you will have, you know, thousands and thousands or lakhs and lakhs of records you will be having it in a table, right? So in that case, select count star from YAMP. So this is the one will tell you how many number of records are there in a table. So you, along with the count of star, you can use condition also, where you know, salary is equivalent to 10,000. How many number of employees are getting 10,000 salary in our company? Two people, right? So how many number of employees are getting salary, you know, 10,000, or how many employees are getting salary more than 10,000? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use alter table EMP, modify column. And what is my column? Column name is here the salary, sal. Okay, I'm going to decimal is, you know, 10,2, because Karthik is very angry because I mentioned only 10,000 to him. Now let us look at the structure of the table. Look here. Now the salary column, total size became, right, the total you can store 10. Out of the 10, 8 digits for integer and 2 digits for decimal values. Now we will insert a new employee and we will validate this one, whether my statement is correct or not. Yeah, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to put is also manager. I'm going to say, yeah, so 100,000. Let's say, see, now it got inserted. So 2, 4, 6, right? And you can have one more also. Okay, so now select star from, yeah, now I want to select count of star from M, where salary is more than 10, more, yeah, greater than or equal to 10,000. 3 people. Am I correct? And importantly, yeah, somebody asked this question: why should I know SQL query? Can't I use Power BI? If the management asks you these kind of small queries, doubts, right? So you don't have to use Power Query for everything, Power BI, right? Instead, you can go to SQL and say, hey, how many number of employees are getting more than 10,000 salary? 3 employees. See, I am playing around with small data. Okay, these queries are very much powerful, very much helpful. We are in real time, we are working with millions and millions of records. Okay, even when you, in the case of million, let's say you have 25 million records in this table, and if you fire this query, right, it will take a few minutes to display this report, so this output. Okay, because it has to process the entire, it has to scan the entire data, and it has to find out, filter the data, and it has to display this, and it will take some time. So here we are getting the output in a matter of 0 second. That means probably nanosecond we are getting the output. Now you understood how to, it's very simple, isn't it? SQL queries are very simple. Select count to, and somebody is asking how many number of employees are getting more than 10,000 salary. And also you can add another condition, like how many number of employees, especially those are manager whose salary is more than 10,000. You can use AND condition. And operator, and or you can say like yes, sorry, and job is equivalent to manager. Only 2 people within the manager category. Only 2 people are getting more than 10,000. So how come 2 getting more manager, right? So many, yeah, 2 managers are there. Greater than or equal to, yeah, I mentioned greater than or equal to, right? If I say greater than, then only one person, right? Only one person is getting, Upinder is getting 100,000 salary, and he is a manager. So this is how you can add more conditions in the where clause. The where clause, you are writing the conditions, right? But here if you want to write more than one condition, you can use AND, or also you can use it, and or, I don't remember or, right, either greater than 1,000 or job equal to manager. Okay, either if this condition is true, even if this condition is not true, and at least if this condition is true, of these 2 conditions, if any one of them is true, then display the output. In this case, salary is greater than 1,000 is, 10,000 is there already, and job equal to manager is also there, hence it is displaying like this, right? And also you can use not operator. For example, you can use not will negate this, your condition, where not sal greater than 1,000. Not sal, what does it says here? Select star from EMP. Okay, here not greater than 10,000. See, that means salary is greater than 1,000. Not. That means how many people are not getting more than 10,000. These people, right? You can write it this way also. Those employees where salary is less than 10,000. It is equivalent to this one. Here, okay. Where not sal greater than 10,000. Okay, so not greater than 10,000, right? These two people, two it shows. Salary is less than 10,000. What does it shows? Why we are getting this output 0? Because in this case, right, their salary is less than 10,000. So why it is not showing 2 here? Can someone tell me? Count will ignore the null values. Count will ignore the null values. But here, here the count, it takes into account of this one also. But here what happened? Not, we have given not, right? Where this condition is not true. Okay, not true. Not true means what is this? Okay, good. Not greater than 1,000. What does this says here? What does it says here? Not. Not is, you see, salary is greater than, okay, let me do one thing. Where salary is greater than 10,000, if I give only one person, right? And if I say salary is less than 10,000, we got this one. If I say salary is less than or equal to 10,000, we get 2. Less than or equal to 10,000, right? If I say salary not greater than. So, what that means, it is, so if this is not true, what does it say? Let me see how many of you have good IQ. If it is not true, see this sal is greater than 1,000. So if this condition is true, what will happen? Greater than 10,000. See, greater than 10,000, 1%, right? Greater than 1,000, 1%. It will, so it is not greater than 10,000. 10,000 cannot be greater than 10,000. So all these conditions false, and obviously only 1%. If it is not 10,000, not greater than 10,000, not salary, why we are getting 2 here? Can someone unmute and say no?
They have 2 null values.
Okay, you are saying 2 null values, but here if I use select count of star from M where salary is less than 10,000, it shows 0, right? Okay, I will do the same thing where salary is what does it says? Okay, I will show the data also. So this is where it is very much important to understand the query, right? To test your report, output, everything, right? At one point in time, you will have to use this one. Sal is less than 10,000. How many are there? But here, not sal less than 10,000. So, not less than 10,000 means what? It is opposite, right?
It is equal to 10,000.
No, ma. Here, see, how can it be? See, okay, I will tell you like this. Tomorrow I go to temple. Tomorrow I not go to temple. I go to temple is truth. Right? Let's say that's a true, right? And not go to temple, I am negating the truth. Right? So here, okay, maybe I can use some. See here, not salary is less than 1,000. Okay, you tell me one thing. Less than 10,000. How many of them are there? Nothing, right? Null. Ignore the null now. Nobody is there, right? So not salary is less than 1,000, less than 10,000. 3 people are there. So here, right? So not sal less than 10,000. See, salary is greater than 10,000. 3 people are there. Sorry, 2 people are there, right? So salary, no, not. Where salary is greater than 10,000, only 1 person is there. If I put not, what will happen? 2, I am getting 2. What does it say here?
It refers Karthik and Puneet row.
Yeah, Karthik and Puneet, right? So salary is greater than 10,000, one person is there, right? Not greater than 10,000 means it is less than 10,000. It is opposite. It is less than 10,000, right? So Karthik and Puneet, that is what it shows. You understood it? So not also you can use it. Not operator, and operator, or operator, and we have something called between operator is also available. Okay, so between operator also available. And before we go there, right? So before we proceed further, what I am going to do is I am going to say select star from M. We will play around little bit with the date column. Okay. So in this one alter, okay, I wanted to know, let's say your manager is asking you, so when did you, how, I wanted to know the employees, those spent more than 50 days with our company or more than 360 days. They wants to know. How will you find out? You have something called date diff function. Okay. For example, you want to find out the difference between two different dates, right? 0625 in comma, for example 2017 hyphen 06 hyphen 15. You can directly give it like this. Okay, you don't have to use from class and all. Okay, if you want to do some kind of calculation, right? For example, select 1 plus 10 semicolon, it will give you, it's kind of a calculator. Okay, then 1 plus 10 is 11. If you want to perform some kind of temporary thing, right, you can use select. You don't have to use from table and all. Okay, so what is the difference between these two dates? 625 and 15, right? So 25 is the date, right? 15 and 25, right? So 10 days. 25 minus 15 is how many days? The 10 days the difference. This is the date difference. This is how you can find out the difference. Supposing I wanted to find out, let's in my case higher date is there. Select higher date. I want to take only the month from the higher date column. Higher date. This is very important. See, third month, right? Look here. So here 3 I won't take only the month here, or I won't take only the day here. I won't take only the day here. So what does this says? The day. What does the day says here? Day is date, right? First
day of the month.
Yeah, first day of the month, right? Day function, month function. Similarly, you have year function. You can take month, day, year separately. Look here, you can. This is how you can do it. And for example, in our case, select date diff. Our query was management wants to know those employees spent more than so and so date, or as of now, can you tell me how many number of days the completed by all the employees? Higher date, comma, you have something called current date. Current date is the function. Okay, current date is the built-in function from EMP. So higher date, difference between these two. Okay, and higher date, we hired him on so what is current? Let us do one thing. We will find out the current date function. Okay, select current date. Directly you can give here. Okay, current date is what? 21/10/2021. But here, how many days back? Ideally, current date, comma, higher date we should have given, right? To get the, positive, 1695, they have spent, 1695 days. So now let us go and check the higher date for, because we mentioned the same higher date, right? That is the reason why it shows like this. Okay, if I want to change the date thing here, right? Let's say I have made a mistake. I wrongly stored the data like, 2731 for Bhupinder. So I have a statement update mtable set. I don't remember the syntax. Let me try. So higher date is equivalent to let's 2017, let's 0402, something like that. Yeah, update syntax and update E. In Oracle we use like this. Yeah, select star from it. Yeah, correct. The same Oracle and MySQL more or less same. Oh my God! See, that's the mistake. See, this is what the mistake once happened in our production environment. Okay. So here I am going to say rollback is available. Yeah, rollback is available. Good. Select star from M. No, even rollback is not working here. So what problem happened here? Can someone tell me? It's a very, very serious issue. Can someone tell me what mistake I made here? But I did it intentionally. Look at the data and tell me, what is happening here. All the employees hire date got changed to this one. What was the hire date? So this guy's hire date, we don't know. But this guy, March 2017 they joined. But actually I wanted to update this guy, Bhupinder, hire date as this one. But what happened, instead of updating only this employee's hire date as this one, it updated all the employees hire date as this one. Why? I did not specify Bhupinder name, right? Update and I should have used and condition and operator, and e name is equivalent to Bhupinder. Bhupinder, right? So set hire date equivalent to truncate incorrect double value. It is correct only, right? So syntax is correct. Hire date, yeah, and truncated incorrect double value 271. So let me do one thing. I will check the syntax here. Since we work with multiple databases, right, it's difficult to update query in MySQL. Set column name is equivalent to value, and yeah, so tutorials point is also very good site wherein you can refer all the field 1 comma field 2, very simple. Yeah, hire date, field 1 comma field 2 is okay. You can set you can modify the value for more than one column also. And how do I specify more than one condition? That is the syntax I am looking for it now. Here they did not mention it. Where condition, the where I should specify more than one condition. Here none of the guys mentioned it. Where Java is equal to, where course name equal to Java. No. You can use better reference manual, but again certain things you can refer it from the the help site itself. Okay, you can set call more than one column also. You can update it at a time. Update table, set column 1 equal to this one, column 2, but where condition order by, let me do one thing, where IDN something like that. You can specify like this. So this is called your inline query. Okay, this is called your inline query. And yeah, where discount, and look here. So I mentioned correctly only, right? And this one, items id equal to, okay, so in that case, we are using more than one table. Here we are updating this table with the help of another table, right? So data as discounted, okay, this is the inline query. Okay, here I'm using only this one, hire date. Sorry, okay, let me do syntax mistake. Control C is to come out of this one. Okay, Control C. If you give Control Z, this one will get closed. Okay, and for example, I'm going to use update. And e name is equivalent to, or instead of giving and salary is equivalent to, let's say 100,000, but it shows somewhere a truncated incorrect double value. You don't need the AND condition. Okay, so what is this? Yeah, set name equal to where. Okay, shop category name is equal to this one. Okay, what is this, right? Where, yeah, set name and is giving, but here I did not give and, right? Set name, set name is equivalent to and this one I am using, but what he says is you don't need this one, where name is two columns is doing it, right? So in this case, in our case, it is different. None of the example shows the condition, more than one condition. But what happened in one of our production system, okay, UK government database, someone without testing the script, they simply moved the script, okay, and it updated the entire table. Update is a very expensive process. It was running for hours and hours and hours, and and then it messed up everything. All the jobs got failed just because of this mistake. Okay, even the government people, right, senior people in the government also, they woke up in the midnight and everyone started asking us question. Sometimes even small thing, right, it will mess up like anything. It will make us to die. Where id equal to show warnings to warnings, where m set hire date. Okay, where m update m set hire date equal to this one and sal, right? So it is not working. So here what happened, it updated the entire record with the same value. That is one problem, and apart from that, it took a lot of time. How to use where column to in. Okay, we can use where. Oh, okay, hire date. Oh, see, sorry, here where, right? Where, none of you notice this one. Where e-name, okay, e-name is equivalent to Bhupinder. Correct. This is how I should mention it. It's correct. And where, see, now it affected, right? Correctly, it works fine. So where clause update set where. So what a mistake I made it here. I mentioned and here. I should have used, see, whenever you use filter condition, right, you have to use where. And if you want to use more than one condition, and you can use it now. For example, and salary is equivalent to 100,000, something like that, right? 100,000. That is what is salary, right? Yeah. See, where is very important. See, sometimes, right, our brain, goes, crazy, right? So that is the thing. So now it got updated. Now I wanted to do the same thing for others. So, where hire date. For example, I say 3rd March where salary is less than 10,000, where I simply where salary is less than 10,000. Now use select star from here. See, here I made a mistake. Less than 10,000. My God. See, higher date is let me do one thing. Bhupinder is 227 for right, and what I'm going to, I wanted to update different date for other employees, right? Where salary is less than 1,000, correct only, right? Higher date as 27/1. Let me do one thing. Now we will check whether it is correct. Yeah, 27/4. Yeah, and we want to change it to 1. 27th, higher data 27, yeah, 1st of March, where salary is less than, okay, it is not less than 10,000, right? Where salary is equivalent to 1,000. See, that's what. Sometimes it will confuse you. Now it is correctly coming. No, it is correctly coming now. Yeah, equal to, I mentioned it. Yeah, now only I mentioned it. Now it works correctly, right?
Okay.
Shreyas, right? It works fine. So now I need to use that query, date diff. Current date, date diff, within the date diff function, current date minus, I want to check whether it is correctly computing the difference between, yeah, so this guy March, right, 1695, 1695, and this guy is on 2nd, yeah, these three guys, yeah, null, right, null also got updated with this one. So what happened, right, here somehow the null also, the higher date got, now you tell me why this is the first mistake we made, right? Blindly it updated everything. So now how do we fix this issue? How do we make it null here? Let me see how many of you watched correctly here. Where higher date is equivalent to null. I want to reset it back to null. See, in real time scenario, this is how you'll be making a lot of you'll be using different conditions, okay? Where salary is is where salary is null, I think so. Yeah, correct. Look, so where sal is null, you got it? Okay, so set higher date equal to null, put the null for the higher date where the salary is null, okay, because this detail is yet to be shared by my senior manager, okay. So this is the one correct. Now I am going to execute 1695, 1695, 1663. It's correct only, right? So this many number of days they spent with us. Each employee spent more than 1,000 days, right? More than 1,500 days with us. These employees, they stayed with us more than 1,500 days. But again, you need to, see, in this case, it shows all the employees. But let's say I have 2 lakh, 5 in TCS, we have 5 lakh employees now. We don't want to see all the 5 lakh employees data. Each and every employee, how many number of days, they stayed with us. That is not our intention. We wanted to give some special gift for those employees. Those stayed with us more than, let's say, more than 3,000 days, or more than 1,500 days. How will you do this? In the where class, you need to specify more than 1,500. But how will you specify like this? Can you do it like this? That is an assignment for you all. Give it a try. Put 2 more records here. Right, for that you give the higher date as same as, or let it be there, but I want you to display for those employees spent more than 1,680 days, 1,680 days, or 1,670 days, 1,670 days. Those employees stayed with us more than 167 days. How can you do that? Anyhow, it's all being recorded, right? You can watch my video we spent quality time. So 9:30, 10:30 and 10:40. Very good. So we spent 10 more minutes. Very good. So you try this one also. Okay. And also what other things we can do it now, and also I will share you some other links, right? You can start play around with that one also to understand. And then primary key, this is very important. Primary key in our table, the employee table, we don't have any primary key. So employee number, so key we did not specify anything, right? If you use if you see the description of the department table, PRI is there. PRI stands for primary key. So what is primary key? Primary key is the one uniquely identify each row in a table. Primary key is the one uniquely identify each rows in a table. Example is social security number. In US, social security number. In India, Aadhaar number. Aadhaar number, right? Using the Aadhaar number, even if we have 1 million Karthik, 1 million people name is Karthik, start with Karthik, right? Or the 1 million people name is Karthik Raja. How will you find out which Karthik Raja is working in my company? Using Aadhaar number, right? Using primary key is something like identifying each row uniquely. How will you uniquely identify an employee? So in your company you have two guys with the same name, Karthik Raja, Karthik Raja. Initial is also same. How will you find out who is who? Using the Aadhaar number, right? Let's say two guys name two guys names are same, but police want to know which guy has committed the crime. With the Aadhaar number only they can find out, right? Initial thing is something like that, right? So primary key is uniquely, it helps us to uniquely identify each row in a table. Okay, so I'll just go here. Primary key and foreign key, these two concepts are very much important. This is the one I will be discussing as part of modeling. When I start the modeling, right, we will be discussing about so. So this is the employee table, this is the department table. In the department table, how each department name is uniquely identified? Using the department number. Using the department number. How each employee is uniquely identified in the employee table? Using the employee ID. If you go to any company, employee ID. Though Aadhaar number is there, but still each company, they generate the employee number for each employee. They assign a unique employee number for each employee. Now we have Aadhaar number. Those days where Aadhaar numbers were there, right? They generated the, now also they use employee number. They generate the unique ID for each employee. So primary key is a key attribute. So using which we can uniquely identify each record in a table. Okay. So this column employee number is a primary key. It will hold the unique keys in it. That means it will not have the duplicate values. You cannot have one again for another employee. That is what called unique values. And it cannot be null. Primary key column should not be null. Please remember it. Primary key column should not be null, and it should not have duplicate values. And each table should have a primary key. So in this case, this table is a primary key. In this case, this table is a primary. So in this column is a primary key. The next question is, can I have more than one column as a primary key? Yes. Right. So employee number. Let's say you have another column. Okay. Employee number, Aadhaar number. Right. So you combine these two columns, and you call as a composite primary key. Employee number and Aadhaar number. You can have another column called Aadhaar number. Aadhaar number, employee number, when you combine these two, you call that as a composite primary key. You can have more than one column also as part of your primary key. Your primary key can have more than one column also. Composite key, composite primary key. We call it a composite primary key. But in this case, we have only one primary key, employee number and department number. So now in the employee table, we have department number. because we want to know which employee belong to which department. But here we cannot put the department number, department location here itself, because the department name, department location will consume too much of space here. Simply we put department ID here or department number. So this department number in the employee table should be related with this department table's department number. We have to establish a relationship between this employee table's department number with the department table's department number. In this case, in this department table, the department number is called your primary key, whereas in this employee table, this department number is a foreign key to foreign key, because this department number is outside the employee table. This employee number comes from outside the table, from another table, right? But in this column, in the foreign key, this is called foreign key because it is coming from another table. But in this column, especially in this table, in this column, you can have more, duplicate values, because many employees, right? Different employees can belong to different department. But even a single department, you can have more than one employees, right? See here, Praveen is department 1, Gaurav is also belonging to department 1. You can have duplicate values in the foreign key column, whereas in the primary key column, you are not supposed to have duplicate values, because the primary key column should hold only the unique values in it. It is as simple as that. Okay, how do I establish the relationship between these two? Okay, if you don't establish the relationship between these two tables using these two columns, what will happen? How will you know Praveen belong to which department, right? You will not be knowing it. And similarly, Gaurav belong to which department? Somebody is asking, you do not know. You have to create a relationship. Okay, so in this table, you need to create two constraints. One is the primary key on the employee number, and another constraint is a foreign key constraint, that is pointing to this table. This department is a foreign key on foreign key, but this belong to, this department number belong to department table. You need to tell this explicitly. Okay, this we will say it how to do it now. With this I am going to wrap up. Sorry, I am taking much of your time, even though I have a lot of other commitments still, right? We'll finish up this one. So now what I am going to do is, since I have already created the table, right? Alter table, emp, add constraint, pk emp number, primary key, empno. I think my syntax, let me do one thing, alter table, let me do one thing, primary key. Yeah, or else you can specify directly here, okay, primary key, okay. Okay, I think you need to specify it inside the parenthesis. Syntax thing, you need to follow strictly. Yeah, correct. Inside duplicate entry, because I have 103 in my table, right? 2 times it is throwing that error. So what I am doing is I am going to use update statement. That's what, if you don't have primary key, what will happen? You will allow duplicate values in it. If you have duplicate values, what will happen? You will not be able to identify who is who. Set emp number is equal to 108, where ename is equivalent to, can you all tell, ename is equivalent to Bhupinder. See, this one got select, right? So now I am going to use the same command, alter table, add constraint. So you need to specify the primary key column inside the parenthesis. Okay, this is syntax. Very good. So now I am going to do describe emp. Look here, I can see pri. The key is the primary key for this table, right? So primary key assigned to this column. Now if you try to insert the duplicate values, it will not allow you. Okay, for the employee table, this is the primary key. So now same way, department already we created, right? So we created the department. This is another way of creating the primary key, right? As part of the table definition itself, right? At the end of this one, primary key department number. So here also we can specify like this. Okay, see, look here I mentioned, right, primary key emp number. If you don't mention it at the time of creating the table, then you need to use alter table, table name, add constraint, right? But without constraint also you can add it, but to later point it, if you want to drop a constraint, right? So this is very much important. Okay, you can give any name here. Okay, but add constraint is a reserved word. You can give any name here, but here logically I have given here pk is primary key on employee number, primary key emp number. Supposing you create a composite primary key, right? In that time, if you add a constraint with this, you will be able to understand very clearly. Oh, we have created the primary key on 2 columns or 3 columns. Okay, primary key emp number, right? So you understood, right? As part of the table definition itself, you can specify primary key like this. But let's say you did not specify the primary key at the time of creating the table. Later point in time also you can specify. But when you create the primary key, make sure that your table does not have duplicate values in the employee number column. So we had some duplicate values. I just updated the different employee number for this guy, and I updated, and then when I created the primary key, it was through. It was able to create the primary key. Now I am going to, this is important step, add foreign key department number. See, alter table emp. In the employee table, what you do is you create, sorry, I just type it, alter table emp, add foreign key. Foreign key is a reserved word. Depart number references which table? Outside table. References the depart table which column? You need to say very clearly. See, everything logically they given. Depart number, depart number. So employee, oh, the employee, oh my god, here I did not create any department number, right? That's the problem. Or let me do alter table emp, add column depart number. MySQL version, yeah. So add alter table emp, add column depart number. Why you have an error in SQL sentence? Check the manual that goes near right sentence near. Okay. We have added another column, right? It was able to higher date. We added like this. Alter table. Alter table, yeah, this is how we do it, right? Any mistake? How many of you watched very clearly my syntaxes? Alter table, table name, add column is correct only. Alter table emp, add column, right? Column. Data type, sorry. Department number, int. I say no int. See, data type you need to specify. That time I remembered it, this time I forgot. Describe employee. Right, so now what I am going to do, I am going to execute this one. It should work. So I am creating a foreign key. Yeah, when you add a new column, you need to specify the column name and then the data type also. But when you drop a column, you don't have to specify the data type and all. Okay. Now we created the relationship between these two. Now let us see, describe employee. And here, see, MUL is there, right? So in the key, mul. So foreign key means mul here. And describe depart. primary key. In this case we have only one primary key. In the employee table also we have only one primary key, whereas depart number ML stands for this one, okay, the reference to another department table, okay. This has a foreign key relationship with other table, okay. This is foreign key because this depart number in this employee table comes from this one, because all the values in the depart number you need to specify it here, okay. Fine, got it? Fine. So it's already 11 o'clock. What I'm going to do is we will circle back on Saturday night, okay. In the meanwhile I'll share the video. All of you please start work on this one, okay. MySQL, I think if you work on this, it is more than sufficient. Then you must be asking this, and why did you ask us to install Microsoft SQL Server? Microsoft SQL Server, right? We have some demo tables are available readily. I will show you how to install those demo tables, because it has already, they created all the foreign key primary key relationship, okay. With that we will play around in terms of generating the reports, everything, okay. And for that purpose also we asked you to do that one, but again you need to know SQL Server. If you know SQL Server also a little bit, right, it will be good, right? So fine. So what we will do is we'll circle back on Saturday. Any questions so far? Sorry, I took much of your time, right? So I took almost 30 minutes more than what I suppose. 9:30, 10:30 I should have wrapped up. Anyhow, tomorrow it is free, and Saturday daytime also you are free, right? Start practicing it, but don't underestimate it. It's all very simple, and don't postpone it, okay. Start practice it, because in real time scenario you have to create the table and you need to insert the data. At least for development purpose you need to create or insert the data, you need to add the columns, drop the columns, everything, right? But in reality, if you have a database admin, they will be doing it, but development environment you have to do it everything in some cases, okay. But inserting the data, test data, everything you are supposed to do it. Supposing you mistakenly given a wrong column name, okay, but how will you rename that, right? So you have something called rename column is there, okay. I will show you that one also later, okay. So how to rename a column, right? So all the things you should be knowing it. If you know everything, right, but anyhow you can go to net and you can search all the things, but if you start practice it, it is always helpful. Then you will get to know what all options are there. See, now you understood what is the difference between primary key and foreign keys, right? But when you are a developer, it is fine. When you are become a senior developer, definitely they'll expect you to do the data model, everything, like which table is the primary key, which table, which column is a foreign key, right? Everything you need to define it. I showed you the other day in the Power BI desktop. I showed you we have something called model tab, right? So pane. The model pane I showed you, different tables were related with some, the arrow key, right? Arrows. Fine, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. We'll upload the video, and you will be able to see the videos, anytime before tomorrow noon, and start watch the videos and start practice it without fail, okay? So far I just covered the, basics or fundamental SQL commands, okay? And to make you comfortable with SQL queries. It's very easy to remember the SQL queries also, plain English language, right? Very easy to select star from table. That's all. It gives you all the table. How do you find out total number of records in a table? Select counter star from table, right? Okay, yeah. Good night. Take care. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Recording.